Hello Fix-It fans. Now in that box there I've got what will be the next receiver to go on the channel to be repaired. It's just been delivered today, so I'm just doing you a little video to show what will be next on the channel. Now it's in that box and it's very heavy, this thing. So let's open it up and I'll show you what I've got. Now this is an Optonica. It's an SA3131. Now according to Hifi engine, this is 40 watts per channel. But on a few other websites it said it is 50 watts per channel. So I'm not sure if it is 40 watts or 50 watts. One website even said it is 65 watts. So I don't know what is correct. I will go with Hi-Fi Engine and say it is 40 watts because that's what they say. Same again with the year. Hi-Fi Engine said this is from 1978, but other websites said it's from 77. So I'm not sure on that one either. We'll go with Hi-Fi Engine again and say it's 1978. So it has had a bit of polystyrene put along the front of it to protect the glass in the post, which is good. It's had some bubble wrap put down the back to protect it a bit. And I've got this from the seller. Apparently this receiver has just stood in a cupboard for 15 or 20 years. Apparently it did work and then it has just sat in a cupboard for about 15 or 20 years and now it doesn't power up or do anything. So that's all I know about this one. And you can see there by the plug, look at the state of that plug. You can tell this thing has not been used for a long time for the plug to get in a state like that. It's a nice plug. That's an MK vintage plug, so I will clean that plug right up because that's a good quality plug on there. And if you look at the lead on this one, it's a bit strange. The lead is marked up as Kawasaki. So I'm not sure how that works. It has got a Kawasaki lead on it. And stamped on that lead, it says 1975. So I don't know if that's the original lead or not, because this thing is a Sharp, so why would it have a Kawasaki lead on it? And that's a new one to me, because I didn't even know that Kawasaki made leads. But obviously they did, because there is one here. So if I get it out of the box, and honestly this receiver weighs an absolute ton. It is one of the heaviest ones I've had in a long time. I was quite shocked when I first picked this box up because I did not expect it to be as heavy as what it was, and I was shocked when I opened the box because I did not think this was going to be as big as it is. In the photos on the listing that I bought it off, it did not look that big. It looked big-ish. It did not look like a small receiver, but it did not look as big as what it is. This thing is absolutely massive. And it has got a really good look to the front of this one, because it is so wide with all them switches and buttons on it. It really has got a good look to this Optonica, because we all like these big monster ones, and they do look fantastic, and this Optonica does, because it is just so wide. They don't come much wider than this thing. This is like up there with any of them I've ever had for like size. I've had some deeper, as in bit taller, but width wise this is as big as anything I've ever had. So let's have a little look at the switches, and like you'd expect from a receiver that hasn't been used for like 15 to 20 years, all these feel really stiff. They're going to need really good going through this one. This one does need some time put into it. It needs stripping right down and sorting out, because it's like you can just tell it hasn't been used for years, because all these, like the balance and all that, they're all hard to twist, and when I'm moving them switches you can see all fur and that inside them and dust and fluff. So this thing really is going to need a good going through. But it is worth doing this one because it just looks so good. And this front faceplate really does look in nice condition. And all them knobs and that on it, they are not plastic. They feel like they are all proper aluminium. So if you look through the top there, you can see how dirty this one is inside. That is absolutely filthy in there. It looks like it's just got a layer of fluff and dust over everything. So that's going to need proper cleaning out in there. That is absolutely filthy. But I have had them like that before. It doesn't mean that stuff's damaged in there because it's coated in all that. If you get in there and clean all that out, this might come up nice inside this Optonica. Now let's get me tape measure on it and I'll show you how wide this thing is, because it really is wide, this receiver. So look there, that is almost 22 inches wide. So this Optonica is massive. So if you bought one of these and was thinking about putting it in your hi-fi rack or your cabinet, you can forget about that. There is no way this thing is going in any hi-fi rack or any hi-fi cabinet. So if we go over to the Pioneer SX434, you can see that Pioneer is 17 inches wide, and it's not small, that Pioneer, it's quite a biggish vintage receiver. So the Pioneer was 17 inches and this sharp is almost 22, so it really is a bit of a monster, this sharp. So I'll turn it round and show you the back, and it is a bit corroded, all the terminals and that on this back. As you can see, it will take 2 sets of speakers, and it also will take 2 cassette decks and 2 turntables. So it's got a lot of inputs, this. So you see there, they're quite rusty and need to get oil on them. I'll probably take them out and soak them in a bit of oil to clean them back up, because they've gone quite rusty, and that little bracket there needs sorting because it is rusty. And if you look at them inputs there, they are quite corroded. But I'm pretty sure dioxin will clean them up, them inputs. Dioxin will sort them right out. And them little bits there, look how corroded they are. They are not doing anything, they're just little plugs to stop like dirt and that going up into the inputs. So you can see on the back there, this thing has probably sat in the damp for a little bit, innit? Obviously where it was stored, they must have had a little bit of damp in there. Them speaker terminals, they have gone a little bit rusty. They will need taking right out and sorting right out. If they're too bad, I might even have to change them, because you really do want a good connection where your speaker cables go into. You don't want no rust. And if you see there, it's only got one fuse in it. So when the person said they powered it up, it wouldn't have done anything anyway, because it has only got one fuse in the back. So it could even be working, this thing. I'm not going to try it, not in the state it is in. I'm not plugging this thing in, because with all that fluff and that inside it, this thing could catch fire quite easy. It really does need cleaning right out. And also, with all that fluff and crap inside this thing, you could power it up and it could do a short circuit across something, so it could burn something out or blow a capacitor or something like that. When there is nothing wrong with it, it would just blow because the fluff is like making a connection across it. So if you ever get a receiver like this in a state, clean it out before you do anything with it. It's just safer to do that, because you could burn something out or do some damage just because it is full of dirt and dust. And if it was clean, it would not have done that. It would have been fine. So never power anything up when it is in this sort of state. I know it's tempting to like try it, see if it is working, but just trust me and don't do that. Just be a bit patient and clean it out first and have a little check over it inside before you power it up. So I'll just turn this heavy old beast back round and then I'll stand a little Rotel on it just to give you a size comparison, because that Rotel is kind of a normal sized little low powered amplifier from the 70s, and when I put that on top of this you will see literally how big this thing is. So I'll put the little Rotel down now. And look, that Rotel is tiny. Look how deep it is compared to that Rotel, and look how wide it is. It's just massive, this Optonica. I've never had one of these Optonicas before. I've had a later one from the 80s, and I've had an Optonica turntable before, but I've never had any of these 70s range receivers. So I'm really looking forward to like getting this working if I can, opening it up, seeing what's inside it, going right through it, and then hopefully getting it working and then having a good listen to this, because like I said, I've never had one. I do know people that have had old Optonica stuff and they have really rated it, but I've just never had none myself, other than I had an amplifier from the early 80s that was quite good. It was a nice sounding thing, but this Optonica could be a really nice sounding receiver because it is quite high end, this one. It is right up there in the Optonica range. It is one of the bigger numbered ones. So back in the day, this would have been one of the bigger and more expensive Optonicas. So I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into this one and trying to sort it out. And I'm going to have to put a bit of time into this one because it really does need some serious cleaning and maintenance on this one, because nothing's been done to this for years and it is absolutely filthy. So I've got a couple of sets of speakers that I've just bought to sort out first. I've got a set of Kef Cantors that I've just got and a set of Tangent acoustic monitor 7s. So as soon as I've done the video sorting out them two, the next ones will be on this Optonica. So thank you for watching and I shall see you next time.